Yo, 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 it's another fucking podcast with your boys Bill, James, and Tig's Excellent Adventure, episode 45. Man, I feel middle-aged. This week, we're going to talk about
LeBron James, D. Wade, cage match for the title. Last game ever.
Oh, yeah, it was a slobber knock. Oh, D. Wade. Airball, man. An airball. And we're going to talk about how we enjoy being right about Ben Roethlisberger being wrong. And we're also going to have Eric Martig guest calling. It's going to be a wonderful night in sports. Yeah! Merry Christmas, baby! We're almost at a year. Right. That's right! That's right! That's how you do a sound check, people. Because it's another fucking podcast! Yeah, baby. Congratulations to us.
The killers under moonlight.
Congratulations
Fake
to us.
young thugs really softer than
Fastly
some moon
approaching
pies. On the
Panthers
inside, I
being in
grind,
last
I
place,
shine.
baby. Listening to the number one podcast in all of the nation, the world,
Our
and the
mentality
goddamn
is success
universe.
based. That's the only reason I'm still
Don't
flowing
forget to
in
like
the
and
first
subscribe.
place. Checkmate.
Make a
Life is
comment.
like a chess
Tell us
game.
how
From
terrible
your
or
release
great
date
we are doing.
till your deceased
There's no
date.
in between.
The truth
We need your
function
notes,
more
people.
egos than even
It's the only way we're gonna get better.
Only way we're going to get better. Yes, that's right. Today is a very special day. We're going to have Eric Martig calling in, and we're going to talk about Baker Mayfield, Wake and Bakefield, however you want to get down. I don't know if he's going to be Wake and Bake on good days or after bad days. But this week, he is Wake and Bake off of a good week. Hello, Wake and Bakefield came out and won him a game against Scam Newton.
Scam Newton. It's a scam.
Did you get to watch the game? The game actually was really good for anybody who didn't get a chance to watch it. It was actually a pretty fantastic game, highly competitive. Cam Newton tried to bring the Panthers back a couple of times. But at the end, it came down to Cam Newton having to throw a perfect pass in the back of the end zone to a wide-ass open, forget who even the receiver was, but it was a wide-ass open wide receiver in the back of the end zone who he completely overthrows. End of ball game. Baker Mayfield and company go on to win their, third game at home?
Yeah.
Something like that?
Yeah.
Fourth game at home? Something like that?
Well, what'd you think of Baker Mayfield?
I like Baker. I told you guys Baker is going to be the best quarterback in this draft. And so far, I was right.
Yeah.
You know, this guy has been the best looking quarterback out of all of the gentlemen that were drafted this year.
You want to hear some stats?
Let's hear some of them stats, just so people understand why we're right.
Went completed 18 of 22 for a percentage of 81.8%. A QB rating of 126.9.
Who's that?
Baker Mayfield.
That's Baker Mayfield. ladies
One
and gentlemen.
touchdown, 0 interceptions, and didn't really do much in the running game. It was all passing. And it was a come-from-behind victory.
Yeah, it was a come-behind victory. They couldn't get Nick Chubb very involved because they had to throw the ball. Now, the reason that they struggle, I feel like, you just tell me if you feel the same or different. I feel like they struggle mainly because they really don't have anything but Jarvis Landry.
Yeah. He's a possession receiver. They don't really have a deep threat. I thought Antonio Callaway was going to be it. But the dude is fast, but he just can't catch a ball.
Man, he really can. He's had more drop balls, I think, than any wide receiver this season.
Yeah, and he was. I know he was peppered with targets earlier in the season because I wanted to get him going. I feel like that's one of the reasons they traded Josh Gordon, but this dude just did not want to step up when the opportunity came.
You know, I think you're absolutely right. We didn't really point that out much when Josh Gordon got traded because we just thought it was crazy and we were happy as Patriots fans that it happened. And hopeful as Patriots fans that it would work out. But we definitely have a situation on our hands where that did not work out for the Cleveland Browns, and now they just don't have a wide receiving core. Although I like to think that they traded Josh Gordon because they know they looked like they could possibly win a game, maybe even 10. Somebody probably listening to this podcast. God damn it. But anyway,
should we segue into the Pats?
Oh yeah, let's go ahead and segue right on in.
Well, Josh Gordon is starting to really come into form on the Pats. This dude, he's not a burner, but I feel like every week he's getting faster and faster, and he's
getting faster and faster,
and he makes all these catches, and he seems to get open now.
He's getting better shape, basically football shape. And I'll say one thing about Josh that he's doing: he's getting better at understanding where to be in option route situations with Tom Brady. You can see at the beginning of the year they had a lot of plays where Josh Gordon was having to turn around and just go up and meet somebody up at the point of the highest point of the ball and just snatch it out of the air from him, or turn around, the ball's there, use my athleticism to just kind of snag it out of the air. Those are plays where Tom is like, yo, only place I can throw it, I'm going to throw it. And you just got to kind of be aware that this is the only place that I can throw it and be prepared to catch it there.
Because he's going to be there.
Because he's going to be there. So I'm feeling like he's understanding a lot more what Tom is thinking. His spot in the locker room is right next to Tom Brady.
Oh, yeah.
And so he's been learning like crazy. That's Julian Edelman's old spot, by the way.
And Julian Edelman is super. He's a Patriots stud. He doesn't need any more
He's a huge
bonding
Patriots
time.
fan. I don't know if people know this.
I love it.
Julian Edelman is one of the biggest Patriots fans and a fan of Tom Brady.
If he hasn't gotten a Super Bowl MVP, but they don't win those last 2 Super Bowls without him.
And they probably would have won this last Super Bowl if they had him.
Exactly.
Because the quarterback, the wide receiver throwing to him in the Super Bowl wouldn't have been Amendola, but it would have been Julian Edelman.
And Edelman has we've seen that from him before. But enough of ball watching him. What do you think of that ridiculous 1 in a zillion chance backyard longest yard football play to end the game? Of course, it was Miami Dolphins.
Let me tell you something. Everybody's like, who do we blame? Who do we blame? Who do we blame? How about we blame history? Because the motherfucking Patriots have lost they're like 11-2 or 12-2 in Miami. Mm-hmm. Miami, is like 12-2 against the Patriots in Miami for like the last 15 years. Like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it's crazy. Miami, people make fun of that division so much, but because it's Patriots and no one else. But every year it seems like one of those teams. A few years ago it was the Jets, who was like, I feel like the Jets might beat him, and they go 1-2 or 1-1. They split the series with the Jets. This year they're splitting it with the Dolphins. I don't know, man. Miami put up points. This defense, there's something suspect to it.
Defense is
they let him hang around, and obviously
third in scoring play, or something like that.
Mm-hmm. You let Ryan Tannehill score all those points, but
yeah, I don't know what's going on with the defense right now, but they got to get it together.
They really do, because
this week is Pittsburgh Steelers.
It is
at Pittsburgh.
Yep, who have some injuries themselves, but it's
and
probably
also don't have a running back.
It's true.
We're going to get back more into that when we talk about the picks.
Can't wait.
Which is why we're kind of flying through these recap, people, because we need to get to them picks, baby. It's going to be a long picks conversation. So right now I'm going to jump over to what was a very long game. The Cowboys versus the Eagles. Overtime. Win by another Alabama player.
He finally got 3 touchdowns.
Kenyon Drake and Amari Cooper and Derrick Henry Guarantee you they went out on Wednesday or Tuesday or something like that, and they got it in and drank it up. Or at least they FaceTimed each other or something, because they had some serious Alabama show-out games.
Were they all on the same team in Alabama? Probably.
Yeah, they were all on the same team at one point at Alabama. Yes. Kenyon Drake is a little older than all three.
How about that, Nick Saban?
How about Nick Saban? And Mika Fitzpatrick plays for the Miami Dolphins as well. Just go ahead and let that out there. You know what I'm saying? Get that out there. But yeah, Amari Cooper has changed life in Dallas, Texas. I mean, you know what? I bet you real estate has gone up in Dallas since Amari Cooper has gotten there, man. Everything has gone up.
I mean, this is now one of the greatest trades of all time. I mean, everyone was making, myself included, I was making fun of this trade when it happened. This first round draft pick is probably going to be in the late teens, maybe 20 if he keeps winning.
Probably 26. I think it's 26 pick right now.
This team's going to win. I mean, they're about to win the division. They saved their season. It's
Saved
crazy.
their season.
Amari Cooper saved their season. And you know, maybe it's that Dallas lifestyle or versus Oakland lifestyle, because this dude looks way more engaged. That, like you said, the quarterback is a lot different. He's way more engaged. He's making great catches. I still don't think Dak Prescott is all that great of a thrower, but Amari Cooper can make a lot of people look great.
Look great. That's all Amari Cooper did for 4 years of his college life is make great plays and make average quarterbacks look amazing.
He was a 4-year player?
I'm pretty positive, yeah.
Oh, good for
4
him.
years. He might just be a junior, but I'm pretty positive he was a 4-year player, which is why he would have played with Kenyon. But I digress, because speaking of Dak Prescott, I just think that the dude doesn't look good. He had 1 fourth quarter in which Amari Cooper literally started having to wave off plays. I don't know if you heard about that, where Amari Cooper said he was mad because they called us a stop route for him, and he was like, "Nah, I'm not running no stoppies.
It's like, let me run.
I'm running." He's like, "No, I'm running this skinny post," and
Just
they
give me
ran
the
that,
ball.
and that's when he scored the touchdown that sent them into overtime.
Yeah, Dak Prescott was not having a game until like halfway through the fourth quarter when he just
When apparently
Finally
Amari
scored the
Cooper
T.
started saying, "Hey, no, I don't know what they talking about over there
yeah, Jason
on the
Garrett.
sideline, but hell no."
Well, good for him. Sometimes these players got to take matters into their own hands.
Exactly. You gotta do it. You gotta get it in. When your coach is being inefficient, when your owner is being an ass clown and calling down on the field and telling motherfuckers what to do and shit. I'm not saying that that's what Jerry Jones is doing, but I'm just saying he was best friends with Al Davis, so don't put it past him. You know what I'm saying? But speaking of Alabama players, we already mentioned Derrick Henry. Ladies and gentlemen, Derrick Henry. We've been talking about him here a lot. The Tennessee Titans, how would they look if they were to use him efficiently, correctly, or at all?
Well, you got your answer.
James, what happened to him for the fantasy players out there? What happened?
He had this happens once every few years. It's very exciting. I call it a season in a games.
Season of games. We're going to have to come up with a fucking theme song for that. That needs season in a games.
I mean, a lot of players don't get 4 touchdowns in the whole season, and then what, 250 yards or something like that.
Especially running backs.
Yeah.
You're right. They don't get 4 touchdowns all season sometimes.
Starters even. Tiki Barber comes to mind.
And how about being such a good teammate, or not one to mess up his rushing average? He says, "Hey, Lewis, come on in here, man. Come on, get this TD real quick. Come on, bro."
Shares the love.
Now, of course, Lewis missed it because that was so disrespectful for Derrick Henry to be like, "Hey, come on in here and get this right quick, bro." They gonna let you get this one. We been getting all of them up here. Come on, bro. And then he got stuck. They got shut down. And how did you feel about? Everybody was cracking on the Jags for getting so excited for stuffing Derrick Henry and keeping him from getting his fifth touchdown. Not like they had stopped him all day.
Well, look, this is just maybe it's a personality thing. I don't understand why defenders like make such a big deal. They basically do a Super Bowl touchdown if they make a stop, even if it's on like a third down to make a fourth down. But I would just be like, just keep playing, because if you like let out all this steam, right, and then they go for it on fourth and then convert it, it's like, haven't you lost all momentum? Haven't you just like inspired the team to just keep going? I don't know. That's an existential question.
No, I agree though. Like, you just gotta keep going, man. You gotta fight through it.
Mm-hmm. I mean, you're supposed to make stops.
You're supposed to make stops. You're not supposed to be excited when you're down that much.
Yeah.
And you've given up that many yards and given up that many touchdowns.
I mean, I feel the same about like scoring touchdowns. It's like you're supposed to score touchdowns.
My favorite player celebration after touchdowns, and I love player celebrations.
Oh, so I do too.
But my favorite player celebration is a non-celebration in Barry Sanders. Barry Sanders, and LT kind of used to do it too, but not really. Every time, Barry Sanders, every single time he scored a touchdown, he walked over to the referee and handed him the football.
Absolutely.
Boom. That's it.
You
run back to the sideline.
Yep. You don't rile up the other team. You give them no material, locker room material.
Business.
If
decision.
anything, you kind of make the team accept that this is how it is. Like, we're better than you. We didn't expect a hard battle. Like, we're just gonna score touchdowns. That's it. And I think that's, like you said, way more powerful.
Yo.
Is that you?
Hello?
Oh shit.
Eric.
Oh shit, it's Eric, everybody.
Eric is joining the podcast. What's happening, brother?
What are we talking about, guys?
Well, we were just talking about, I just randomly called you. Now, we were just talking about the Tennessee Titans and Jaguars. Derrick Henry.
Jaguars and the Titans?
Yeah, we was
What
talking about
about them?
Derrick Henry going off. What you think?
Wait, say that again. You're a little fuzzy today.
Oh, we was talking about Derrick Henry taking his ass and showing it out.
Oh,
How do
man,
you
I was
feel
going to
about
text
that,
you
son?
about Derrick Henry and all the fantasy players that didn't start Derrick Henry.
That's exactly what happened. A lot of benches went off this week.
Like, how doesn't Tennessee use him all year long as their workhorse? He is capable of being a workhorse running back, and he's big, he's strong, he's young, he's got some breakaway speed. I just don't understand that offense. It makes no sense to me. Derrick Henry, I mean, statistically this year after that game, actually looks like he had a decent year, but he had a terrible year because he was not used this year. It's insane to me.
I agree, and I thought that they might be just trying to save him for the playoffs, but it's not looking like they're going to make the playoffs at all. So congratulations, you played yourself, Tennessee.
What's the record right now?
7-6, and Houston's at
7-6.
9-4, and then you got the LA Chargers at 10-3, and I guess that second wild card spot is open, but I don't see it happening. I feel like Indianapolis.
Who is the other wild card?
Well, they're behind Indianapolis and Houston in their own division, and then you got the
Colts are
Chargers
7-6
at
too,
10-6, and Miami is also at 7-6 with that crazy win over New England.
Miami's garbage, but I hope they beat the Vikings this Sunday.
Oh, they will be. Well,
Actually, it doesn't matter. Actually, fuck the Vikings. All I hope is that the Bears beat the shit out of the Packers and we close to the division.
Well, speaking of the Bears,
Yes.
Speaking of the Bears.
How about them Bears?
how many lozenges did you have to take back after screaming that whole game for your team to beat the Super Bowl favorites, the Rams?
Wait. Say that again.
How badly did you lose your voice screaming for your team beating the Rams on Sunday night?
So this is the thing. So I was at a bar in Los Angeles, obviously, and I kept my mouth shut the entire game because when I was watching, we could have lost that game at any moment with that offense. So even at the end of the game, I literally sat there, and there's other Bears fans at this bar. There's some fake-ass Rams fans at this bar, too. So I kept my mouth shut until the game was over, and I was the most composed I've ever been in a fucking bar to respect the city I live in and respect the people around me. But as soon as we left the bar, that's when I started screaming and yelling and high-fiving
Nice,
to
dude.
respect my city that I live in. So I didn't want to gloat because, I mean, that game showed you that the Bears' defense is for real.
Bro, it sounds like you were in an episode of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia or some shit. Like trying to contain yourself.
Oh yeah, it was like I was silently high-fiving Lucy, who was sitting next to me the entire game, because there were some angry, drunk little fake Rams fans that were eyeing me. They walked up to me and they're like, "The Bears suck." I was like, "Oh boy, you are fucking wasted, and I think you might have a knife on you." So I'm not going to say anything.
Shit, shout out to Pickle.
But this was a game that the Bears needed to literally just show everyone, because I mean, honestly, like the teams that we've beaten before losing to the shitty Giants weren't great teams. This was a statement game of this defense is a defense that could literally get us into the Super Bowl if Mitch Trubisky can get his shit together. And listen, I love Mitch. Before he got hurt, Mitch was having really, really good games. Mitch is a guy that needs to play to get those fucking balls down, because he overthrows guys constantly.
I'm
He needs
glad
to
you
get his balls
brought up
down.
Mitch. So
And once he can get those balls down, then our offense can start clicking again.
I'm glad you
That's
brought
what we
up
need
Mitch.
to happen.
I'm glad you brought up Mitch, because Mitch is one of a few quarterbacks out there that's getting his real first chance at it. We got, Patty Mahomes. We got Mitch Trubisky. There's really their real rookie years. You know what I'm saying? And then we got
100%.
We got these real rookies out here. What do you think about Bacon Wakefield? What do you think about Bacon Wakefield?
Listen, as much as I hate Baker,
Can you hold on?
Baker-
This is the full
Baker-
question.
yeah.
Do you feel that he is definitely the best quarterback in this draft?
In this draft,
This past draft.
so we got Darnold,
Allen.
Baker,
Allen.
and Rosen, right?
Lamar Jackson.
And Lamar Jackson.
What do you think? I know it's killing you.
It's hard. I don't know. It's a close race. It's a close race. It is a close race. It is a close race. He has he has different weapons than Darnold does. Darnold doesn't have any weapons, so it's hard to watch these guys and be like, "Oh, Nick Chubb just got a 5-yard screen from Baker and ran it 70 yards into a touchdown, and that goes on to Baker's stat."
Yeah, but last week he had to do it. He had to do it on his own because there was they were behind early. There was a sense of urgency. They had to go for it immediately. So come on, you can just say it. You can say it. He's better. He's the better quarterback. Can you at least say that they should have won 10 games this season?
I need to see these guys play next year. I really do. I think I can't specifically say, because Baker does some dumb shit. They all do dumb shit. No one runs better than fucking Josh Allen. That's insane.
That's
His
true.
ability to run is insane.
That's true.
He's had
Who's the better runner,
3 games
Mitch
in a row
Trubisky
with
or
over 100
Josh
yards. I'm saying Josh Allen beat the Vikings.
Well, who's a better
Baker-
runner? Who's a better runner, Josh Allen or Mitch Trubisky?
I mean, it looks like Josh Allen, but
They both got hurt
Mitch runs-
from running.
but Mitch runs an offense better at this point. Because I think Mitch is never in the mindset that he's good. I think Mitch is always in the mindset that he's not as good as these other guys and needs to work hard. That's what I love about it. Like,
Well-
even after his good games, Mitch is like, "Whew, I fucked up a lot during that game, but I had a good game." You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, we've all lucked up a lot this year.
Wait, this is my question. Who looks better running is Mitch Trubisky. When Mitch runs, he tucks that ball and looks like a fucking running back. I love it.
See, I would agree. I think Mitch looks better as a runner. Josh Allen looks crazy as a runner. He's just
Yeah, I don't
running
know
out
if
there for his life.
I'm not sitting around watching fucking Buffalo Bills games, obviously. So I don't know. Like Josh Allen running, I'm not sure if it's because he's not executing plays and just scrambling around and getting like dirt yards, or if he's actually a super talented guy. There was someone that was comparing him to Steve Young the other day, which fucking cracked me up.
Well, yeah, I don't want to do that. Let's just not do that. Let's avoid all of that.
Yeah.
Let's never do that. Right now, what we're going to do is we're going to jump straight into these picks.
Mitch Trubisky is a safer runner and a smarter runner than Josh Allen.
You want to do these picks real quick?
Let's do him.
All right, we're going to jump straight in.
Finally, a great Thursday night game. We got the LA Chargers visiting Kansas City.
Oh, my goodness. If Tyreek Hill plays, I got Kansas City, but not by a lot. But if he doesn't play, I think the Chargers pull off a win and make a race for the number 1 seed in the AFC.
Woo! I'm going to agree. Chargers, baby. I'm going with the Chargers, and I'm going with the Chargers with or without Tyreek Hill.
Chargers have the best road record in the NFL. It's because they don't have a real home.
Right. Tell them again. They do not have a real home.
They don't have a home.
I thought I was
Road
going to be
Dogs.
hard-hitting
The Road
by
Dogs
going
this
Chargers, but I'm also going Chargers. I think this Charger defense is for real, and that the Kansas defense is not.
I'm sorry, people. Sometimes we don't.
Eric Berry's back, though. Eric Berry is back this
Yeah, he is. Sometimes we don't agree. I mean, sometimes we always agree because we have to be right.
Next up, we got the Houston Texans visiting the New York Jets.
Texans.
I'm going to go Texans.
Yep.
We're all in agreement. Oh, here's where we're going to hit the rails. Cleveland visiting Denver.
Oh, Denver.
Oh, it must be.
Denver wins that one.
I'm going Cleveland Browns.
You know what? This season's been crazy. Seriously high altitude.
Has Baker ever played in Denver?
I don't know. I was just thinking about that. Literally, that's literally what I was thinking about. Has Baker ever
That's a major
played in
game
Denver?
changer. I take Denver.
Then I thought, has Nick Chubb ever played in Denver? And then I thought they got Jarvis Landry. They're coming out with a win by 3.
You heard it here first. Next up, some trash birds versus each other. Arizona visiting Atlanta.
I think Atlanta actually plays a good game in this game.
Wow.
I think Matt Ryan has like a stupid game that makes his season look good.
Is who in Atlanta?
Arizona Cardinals.
Arizona's real.
Oh
bad.
my God! Let me tell you something. This is gonna be a terrible game. No one should watch. Arizona loses by 10.
Well, that is the line. Atlanta by 10. I'm also going Atlanta.
I think they win by 15. I might put money on that.
You're welcome, people. You're welcome.
Detroit visiting Buffalo, New York.
visiting Buffalo?
Detroit Lions.
Oh, I take Buffalo. I take Buffalo in this one.
Yeah, I like Buffalo's defense. I'm also going Buffalo.
I'm taking the Lions.
Josh Allen.
I'm
Allen's
taking the
gonna run
Lions.
around.
Descent is in the air.
Here's an easy one. Green Bay visiting Chicago.
Jesus tits. So Green Bay is out here literally still.
The Bears. Just remember, this is a revenge game plus a division clinching game, guys. In
You going with the
Chicago.
Bears?
Yeah, I'm going with the Bears. We should have beat them week 1. You kidding me?
Yeah, well, I just think it's very weird that Mr. Rogers hadn't lost the game since his buddy got fired. You know, they were good buddies. I know you don't know this, but him and Mike McCarthy, they were really good buddies. They used to go to each other's houses and watch film and, you know, go on long campfire
Suck
trips,
each other's dicks.
Suck each other's dicks. And I gotta pray and hope for the demise of Aaron Rodgers sometime before the season's actually over. I'm hoping and praying. Bears, baby.
Bears, baby. We're gonna fuck Aaron Rodgers up. It's gonna be awesome.
I say Aaron Rodgers has to take a couple plays off of an injury in this game. Next up, Oakland visiting Cincinnati.
I think Oakland wins this because they're fucking idiots.
You think what?
Oakland should be tanking at this point, and now they're winning football games.
I know.
Fucking hilarious. So I think just because Oakland is so stupid, they're going to win this game.
I think this has been Oakland's plan all along. We'll go in, and we're gonna go 2 games, and we're gonna go on a 2-game winning streak late in the season.
Yeah.
Damn it, I'm in agreement again. I think Oakland goes on a 2-game win streak.
I mean,
Good call
guys,
by
they've
us
actually
last
been
week.
playing well.
I know.
Gruden's
They
got the
kept up
guys
with
that
Kansas
he
City.
wants on his team now. That's what the point of the matter is.
Dallas Cowboys on a roll visiting Indianapolis Colts.
Who do I take the Colts?
I'm taking Le'Veon Bell's future team, the Colts. You heard it here first.
I think Andrew Luck is going to go crazy.
I'm going Dallas. I like their defense, and I think they get a whole bunch of pressure on Andrew Luck. And
Just wait. Who's that linebacker on the Colts that is up for Rookie of the Year? What's his name? That white dude? He's fucking awesome.
I don't
You
know.
guys know what I'm talking about?
Hell no.
Oh, fuck. Oh,
We don't
damn
know
it.
any awesome white dudes. So.
Damn it. Von something, man. He's legit. All right, go ahead. Next.
I'll watch out for him.
We'll look out for him, linebacker. You know, shout out to Paranorm. You know what I'm saying? Go Colts. We rooting for them.
Miami
So,
Dolphins on a hot win at New England goes into Minnesota Vikings.
Struggling.
I'm just going
Minnesota.
Dolphins. I'm just going Dolphins to fight the Vikings.
You know why you should be going Dolphins? I'm going to give you something to back you up.
Yeah.
His name is Kenyon Drake. His name is Micah
I know.
Fitzpatrick. And his
Finally.
name is
Yeah.
Ryan Tannehill.
Yikes. You going Miami then?
I'm going Miami because Kirk Cousins looks like 4th Cousins.
Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins looks like Kirk Cousins.
Cousin. One cousin.
Yeah, good call by old Jamesy boy here. Was not a fan of the Kirk Cousins signing in the beginning of the season. He's starting to show his real colors. I'm also going Miami Dolphins.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, here's one.
Nice.
Tennessee Titans visiting the New York Giants.
I'm going Giants.
Woo! Ooh! What you think?
I'm going Giants.
I'm also going Giants. I think Saquon Barkley has one of those season in a game games.
Season in the game
Yeah.
games. Oh, you weren't here for that, Eric. That is a new thing. Season in a game games. I'm going Titans.
There you
Sorry.
go.
You guys are crazy. I'm going Titans.
Here's some trash versus trash. Washington at Jacksonville Jaguars.
Jacksonville.
I'm also go Jacksonville.
I want Washington to win this game, but it's going to be Jacksonville. So I would love for Washington to somehow sneak into the playoffs, so we get to play them in the first round. But yeah, I think Jacksonville somehow is showing up at the end of the year when nothing else matters.
I think.
And who? Josh Johnson is the third quarterback.
Yes.
In
Yep.
Washington?
No, they
Google
signed him. He wasn't even on the team.
They signed him
Well,
7 days ago, I think.
Versus a guy that hasn't played in how long? I pick Jacksonville.
Yeah, this is the battle of the two teams who should have signed Colin Kaepernick.
Yeah.
Tampa Bay visiting Baltimore Ravens.
Ravens.
Ravens, baby.
Ravens as
Tampa
well.
Bay came up and won one, but now they're going to get drummed.
Divisional battle, Seattle visiting San Francisco.
Seattle's got something to play for. I take Seattle.
Yeah, I'm going Seattle too, even though George Kittle had a season into games last week.
The battle of the Tankathon in the Bay Area comes to conclusion. We're going to have San Francisco for the L.
Wow.
Here's one. New England visiting Pittsburgh.
I got Pittsburgh.
What?
Just to go against you guys.
I'm going New England. I think Tom Brady has a fuck you game. 5 touchdowns. They blow him out.
Dante Hightower is going to dislodge the ball from somebody at least twice.
That's the game of the week right there. I love it.
Game of the week, Dante Hightower, 2 fumbles. Bet.
Sunday night.
Patriots, baby!
Sunday night football. We got the Philadelphia visiting the LA Rams. Here's another revenge game.
Rams big. Rams go big at home.
Man. Rams are
Nick
back at
Foles
home
versus
after
the Rams.
visiting all
Come
this
on.
cold. Man, they've been cold for the last 2 weekends.
Yeah. They're going to warm up.
This is tough, man.
This hits.
I'm going to tell you why. This is kind of a trap game. The Eagles need this to be able to be considered to win in their division. This is a divisional playoff game for them.
Mm-hmm.
Wentz is going to play his ass off, and that defense doesn't look really good. Neither defense looks really good right now. But I'm going to go Rams. But I'm telling you, do not be surprised if the Eagles come into Los Angeles and fly, Eagles fly.
Well, Rams are at minus 12.5, so you might want to take that Eagles bet. But I'm also going Rams. I think Todd Gurley has 3 touchdowns, gets back on track. And finally, Monday Night Football. New Orleans visits Carolina Panthers.
Oh, the Saints, baby. All day on the Saints. That's my Super Bowl pick.
Also going Saints. This is another revenge game. A lot of revenge games this week. It was a rough week last week.
Who that? Who that? Who that think they going to beat them Saints? Who that? Who that? Who that think they going to beat them Saints?
Is that the cheer?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
Oh, shit.
That's the cheer, man. Yeah, man. Who that? Who that? Who that think they going to beat them Saints? Man, Drew Brees finna go off on that terrible-looking fucking defense.
He sure is.
And Marcus Ingram. See, this is why I've been saying his name so much. It's getting cold. This is what I was going to talk to y'all about since this is the last game. It's getting cold out there, and we have seen all these prolific offenses just come into a slowdown all of a sudden because you got to have a running game in this league. You got to have a running game. What happened to Gurley? He only had 23 yards last game.
Some bullshit.
That fucking Chicago defense, baby.
Exactly. Defenses are finding a way to stop these offenses. And really what it comes down to is if you don't have a running game, a la Pittsburgh, you will not survive. Because you need a Le'Veon Bell back there this time of the year. What y'all think? Y'all think defense is making a surge back at this end of the season and into the playoffs?
Oh, the Bears defense is going to cause some trouble, baby.
Fucking right.
I think the Bears best defense in the league.
So you still sticking with your your Saints Super Bowl?
Well, yeah, I put money on the Saints at the start of the year, so yeah, let's go Saints. But if the Bears should shock the world, shock the world.
So you're going Saints, Bears, NFC Championship game.
Oh, yeah.
Because y'all should win the division.
I think that's $100 you'd be happy to lose.
Yeah.
Or win.
Or win. I'm about to put money on the Bears Super Bowl right now.
All right, man.
All right, guys, I got to go take a piss.
All right, man. Take it easy.
Yep. I'll talk to you guys soon.
Later.
So you fucking funky bitches, you're welcome. You just got to hear Eric's beautiful fucking voice. And now it's time to move on to the
Way to the basket. From long range. Russell Westbrook. Another triple-double. He's on fire. Kawhi Leonard. Blocks Kevin Durant.
Man, I'm telling you, this song is amazing. Just flip the whole thing right out, all the way over, and then loop it again. The NBA! All over again, man. I love this motherfucking segment. So, your boy KD has been out here, just what we, in the South, we call running off at the mouth. Mm-hmm. You know, and he has been out here, you know, hold on a second. Okay, so KD's been out here just running amok. He's been running amok on the court, playing well. Playing
very good.
Well, keeping his team there. But he's been kind of sneak dissing LeBron in these interviews.
I feel like he just wants to play basketball and have no one in the stands.
Yeah, he kind of did. He's been telling people to shut up, basically. Shut up and watch the game. That's his quote right now. It's like he's in Oakland, so I think he's been just hanging out with Marshawn Lynch maybe a little too much, and he's got himself a catchphrase. Shut up and watch the game. I'm just here so I won't get fined. It's kind of similar to me. I don't know.
And they look the same too.
Shout out to Marshawn Lynch, by the way. He's got a dope store over in Oakland. The homie went by there.
What kind of store?
Just like a general store.
Okay.
And they got like raffles where like he like he pays people's phone bill.
Oh, I love shit like that.
So you can sign up for a raffle in Oakland at his store, and he'll he'll pay for your phone bill if you win the raffle.
Right on.
So anyway, you know, how you feel about KD? You feel like he's really dissing LeBron? And do you feel like this is more of a sign that he's going to sign with the Clippers, not the Lakers?
I feel like Kevin Durant has consistently dug himself a hole getting caught with these social media things and just super embarrassed that he doesn't want all this attention because I feel like he's just afraid he's going to embarrass himself more. And he's doing kind of what Kobe did to Shaq. He's just like, hey, don't look at me. Look at that fucker over there. Like, hey, I fucked up, but hey, let's pass the buck on to someone else.
Hey, it's not me.
You know,
it's over there. Don't look over here. It's over there.
I don't think he's going to. I say there's like a 2% chance he goes to the Lakers, and I don't think that's changed from the beginning of the season. I really have no idea why we're even thinking he might leave Oakland. I think there's not no way, but close to absolutely no way they're not going to let Kevin Durant leave Oakland. Am I crazy?
Well, no, I mean, they have plans. I know for a fact that Golden State has plans for if KD was to choose to leave. And he has said that he has interests in other places, obviously. He's made that kind of clear that he would make his options open. Mm-hmm. So they do plan on, like, keeping Cousins if he looks good and possibly getting AD in there, Anthony Davis. They are looking to make that kind of a move next season. Not in this season through trade, but you could see Anthony Davis and Boogie Cousins back together again.
On the freaking Warriors.
On the Warriors, and what would that look like? That would be just insane,
So
And
what
then
would
you
they have
have
to, like,
Draymond
trade?
over there on the shooting floor, and he'd be able to move around and play the 5 and whatever. You'd have everybody moving around like
Well,
crazy.
like, wouldn't they have to trade Draymond and probably Klay Thompson to get?
No,
Anthony
because
Davis?
the understanding would be that they would be able to get them on some kind of discount. And they're not going to have to max those guys out.
But Anthony Davis is on has 2 more years on his contract.
Yeah, he does. So they would have to make some kind of trade, but it doesn't necessarily mean that they would have to trade Draymond. They got draft picks. They got money.
Boy, I'd hate to be a Pelican fan if you let Anthony Davis go for some draft picks.
Well, that's what's going to happen. Whoever they let him go for, they going to let him go for some draft picks. It's not going to be no big-time trade unless he goes to the Lakers, which they will trade Brandon Ingram, and that's the only player they're going to trade him for. They're going to trade him for Brandon Ingram and Lonzo Ball, and I just don't see that happening. I don't see that happening either. You know what I mean? So it's going to be draft picks wherever Anthony Davis ends up next year, because the line of thought is that Anthony Davis will ask for a trade at some point in the offseason. Not this season, but in the offseason. So now, since we're talking about trades, I want to talk about one trade that I think is going to happen very soon and no one's talking about. It's all out there on the waiver wires, all on the wires that Trevor Ariza is going to get traded to the Lakers. The
Yeah.
assistant GM for the Lakers, Damon Jones.
LeBron James.
Damon Jones,
Oh yeah.
for the Phoenix Suns. GM for the Phoenix Suns. Yeah, he's LeBron James' best friend. He might be trading to Trevor Ariza for some reason. For some reason, Zion Williamson. Zion Williamson!
The next great player.
Man, everybody's trying to tank to get him. And because of that, I got another team I'm going to drop in the hat that's going to make a big trade. Cleveland Cavaliers. Now, they have fucked all of my fucking predictions for Cleveland has been fucked up by Zion Williamson. Okay, so most of my predictions for the whole season have been fucked up by Zion Williamson because all the teams are trying to tank except maybe 4 or 5 from each conference. There are a handful of teams that are trying to win. But the rest of the teams are literally trying to figure out a way to tank or trade somebody in the draft and get to trade up so they can get Zion Williamson. This is ridiculous. I've never seen anything like it. But I think the Cleveland Cavaliers are going to trade Kevin Love come December 21st.
Any possible suitors?
Any possible suitors? Everybody. Anybody.
Well, I bet they would have to. Do you know if he's coming back from injury?
Yeah, he's been rehabbing from his
okay.
toe surgery that he had.
Well, God bless him because I think he deserves something a little bit better for probably the last 5 years of his career.
Well, I think that he was told, like, hey, we're not going to try to be competitive in some kind of way. And, and maybe it was just the fact that they changed the way they were going to do the lineup after about 3 games. Maybe it was that they told Tyronn Lue, hey, we're going to do these things different. And he was like, nah, we're not doing nothing different. We're going to be competitive. And he was like, all right, I'm out. And you see the tea leaves changing and you say, hey, look, I gotta shut it down for myself and my well-being. If you're Kevin Love, you just signed that big contract, you don't want to get really hurt. And then you're just on a shitty team and you're bad trade bait. Right now, he's amazing trade bait. Come back from that injury, that contract is brand new, and he won't be able to trade him until December the 21st. I think it's going to happen, man. I think they're going to trade him and J.R. Smith in a big package deal, and it's going to be big-time news. You heard it here first, like you hear all of your motherfucking sports news. It's going down.
Yeah, they might have to add on a draft pick or second-round pick if they're adding J.R. Smith in there.
Maybe he goes to the Knicks.
Back to the Knicks.
Maybe he goes to the Clippers. He's a L.A. native. No. I mean, Kevin Love. Kevin Love, maybe he goes back to the Knicks. L.A. native. Maybe he goes to the Knicks. Maybe he goes to the Clippers. I don't know.
Send him back to Russell Westbrook, his UCLA teammate.
Woo, send him to. Woo, I didn't even think about that. Send him to the Thunder.
That'd be sick.
Man, they have some amazing staff in the front office at the Oklahoma City Thunder. They have made some crazy trades, and people have been like, wow, how do they keep themselves relevant? That would be a sick-ass trade.
Got Steven Adams, Kevin Love, Roberson when he comes back, Paul George, and Russell Westbrook.
I would say
That's a starting five right there.
I would say that is winning the Western Conference. I would say that is definitely a scary-ass team to have to play. Long, rebounding, fast, three-point shooting, stretch you out. Woo! Somebody in Oklahoma City better be listening to that. Somebody in Oklahoma City better be listening to that, because even if Boogie Cousins comes back, you know what I'm saying, that would stretch out the floor, something serious. Great defensive team that would be. So, yeah, I'm loving everything about that. Everything about that. So, anyway, LeBron and D-Wade played their final game. I didn't know that they were 15-15 against each other. And came down to the very last shot and the very last two possessions, them playing against each other, them guarding each other. And Dwayne Wade missed the shot.
By a mile.
By 100 miles. And lost the bragging rights tie breaker. And now he has to live with that for the rest of his life. LeBron James.
Nah, but he won the championship and Finals MVP before LeBron.
He taught LeBron how to win. I've always said,
yeah,
LeBron James went to Miami to learn how to win basketball games. He didn't know how to win a game yet. It's good to be immensely talented, but he didn't know how to win no championship.
So and going back to D-Wade, it just stinks that he played so bad. He played poorly. I mean, he can dish it out. He knows how to play, but he couldn't hit a shot. I don't understand.
Couldn't hit a shot, but you know what? His whole team played poorly.
I don't know the something Johnson. Some dude had a career game. He hit like 6 3-pointers, and
what's his name?
Josh Johnson or something?
Josh Johnson.
Yeah. He was balling.
Yeah,
out.
but Justice Winslow. He's been kind of a disappointment to me. You know, he hadn't been what he should be. And Hassan Whiteside has not figured out how to be a good NBA player in this new NBA.
Well, he's getting
his position.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, if you're not going to be like a superstar shot blocker, you're going to have to stretch your game out to the 3-point line.
Dwayne Wade, I mean, it's the end of it for him. You know what I mean? This is the only reason this rivalry is ending, is because he's he's too old to keep going. So
put his body through a lot, and I'll thank him for it. I mean, you know, I hate it when players change their game too early because they want a longevity of a career. I mean, I don't blame them, but I just look, that's your game.
Top 3 guard of all time?
Top 3 guard of all time? Maybe top 3 shooting guard.
That's what I mean, shooting guard. Excuse me. Top 3 shooting guard of all time?
Yeah, because it's either him or Jerry West at the 3 spot, and I'm always gonna be biased, but I think the athleticism and it just goes. So
you putting him over Jerry? Because for those who may not understand, it's Michael Jeffrey Jordan. Okay. And then it's Kobe Bean Bryant. And then most people would say Joe Douche. No, I'm joking. Most people would say Jerry West. But you're saying D-Wade. We're going to jump him over him.
I don't know. 3 championships and a Finals MVP.
Finals MVP.
1
championship.
Scoring titles and just crazy athleticism. Came back from almost a 3-0 lead to beat the Mavs in 06.
Most blocks as a guard,
yep.
Under at his size, 6'4" and under.
And I think he didn't win a championship at Marquette, but because Syracuse won. Great college player. I don't know.
Shout out to you, Wade.
Shout out to Jerry West, the logo. But hey, if I'm starting a team now, I'm taking D-Wade.
Shout out to Wade and Wade County. In about 5 years, he'll be CEO of some kind of operations over at Miami, and he'll be balling out of sight.
Yeah. Dwayne Flash Gordon.
Celtics. What you think about them Celtics? Kawhi Leonard. Jesus Christ. Kyrie Irving. Shoulder injury. Didn't really do too much. He's been out, in and out, in and out.
It's about that time for a Kyrie Irving injury.
Yep. Came right on time. They do every year. But
don't know.
the Celtics have not stopped or slowed down. Their fucking bench is like 12 men deep. Like their whole team is 12 men deep.
Well, that's what helped get them to the Western Conference or Eastern Conference Finals last year. Their depth after all their whole starting lineup got hurt. I think Jason Tatum is for real. I really like Jaylen Brown playing with him. I'm glad Gordon Hayward is still coming off the bench, getting his reps in, kind of being the focal point of a second unit.
Yeah.
I still think this team is probably going to lose in the Eastern Conference Finals, probably to the Raptors. But, I mean, crazier things have happened.
Yeah, I think that the Raptors, bringing up the Raptors, they
they're deep too.
Everybody's hype on them, but, they're only 3 games up, in the East. Milwaukee looks really good, and they're still looking to make a trade to make themselves better. The 76ers have looked really good with Butler on their team, but Butler just got hurt. He'll be out for probably a month or so.
But it's probably going to be those 4 in the second round of the playoffs, no matter what.
Right, but we're leaving out Indiana, who has gone on a up and down without Victor Oladipo. I don't even know when he's supposed to be back, but
if he's healthy, I mean, we saw it last year. Is he better than those top 4 teams?
And they're only 3.5 games out without Victor Oladipo. Their team looks really good. Avitas Sabonis' son, whatever his son's name is, Sabonis
Jr.
Sabonis. That
Sabonis second.
Sabonis 2. That motherfucker looks good. And Indiana is 10-4 at home, 8-6 away, 4-1 in their division, and they 12-3 in the conference. Like, they fucking legit as shit.
They sure are. But in a 7-game series, do you see them beating any of those top 4 teams?
Well, they are the top 4 teams right now.
I'm saying
So
Philly,
Milwaukee.
Raptors, Milwaukee, Celtics. That's my prediction for who ends as the top
Just so
4.
people know, the Celtics are at the 5 right now. So he's saying they will jump them. Can they beat any of them? I think they can. As a matter of fact, the 76ers, if they don't make a trade right now, they still can't shoot. And Indiana can shoot the shit out of the ball right now. Well, especially when Oladipo gets back. I don't know. I think the Sixers are the shaky limb in this tree.
Well, yeah, especially with this whole Markelle Fultz thing, this impinged nerve in his shoulder or something.
Well, I'm glad that they finally got something diagnosed.
Sure.
Because he looked bad.
And I'm telling you, it's too late for him in Philly. It has to be somewhere else. I bet he could be an all-star on literally any other team. But there's something. He's left a stench in Philly that cannot be undone.
Real quick, Detroit Pistons, man, they looked really good at the beginning of the year. Now they kind of skidded down.
They have, but they're not getting blown out, which is something to take home. But yeah, I mean, I believe in the superstars on the team. I think Blake Griffin is. Maybe there's some questions.
So you're definitely you're definitely in on Toronto, Milwaukee, 76ers, Indiana. and Boston being in the playoffs, top 5.
Oh yeah.
So, which one's out? Charlotte, Detroit, or Orlando? And that would mean who would get in? You know what I'm saying? You got
Probably Orlando.
Orlando out,
Yeah.
who's in the 8. And that would put in who you got? Miami, Washington, Brooklyn, New York. Because we can't say Cleveland. Who is on some kind of divine intervention of some kind. They say, hey, we got to go ahead and win one game. They're on a 1-game winning streak.
I
It's
could
fucking
see
amazing.
maybe some heroic effort by retiring Dwayne Wade to get this team into the playoffs. Because that's what I was hoping for Kobe his last season, but that did not.
I think
happen.
Washington trades Wall or Beal or both before February.
Mm-hmm.
And I think you're right. Miami will be able to make the playoffs, but I think it's Charlotte
Out?
that falls out.
Oh, okay. You don't believe in the Kemba Walker superstar status?
I don't believe in none of that going on in North Carolina.
I believe this is a guy who has a payday coming up.
Oh, you betting on that bag. I feel you. He's like, I'm going to shoot the motherfucking gym out, and Jeremy Lamb is not playing bad. Shout out to Jeremy Lamb, former Thunder.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of which, the Oklahoma City Thunder, before we started this podcast, were the number 1 team in the Western Conference.
Top seed.
They are now number 3. They have lost no games. But before we started this podcast, as soon as we started this podcast, actually, they were number 1, a half game back of the Golden State Warriors, who were at number 3. They were at number 3.
3.
Really weird situation, people. Number 2 was the Denver Nuggets. Now the world is right, and the weirdness is gone. The Oklahoma City Thunder are number 3. Golden State are now at number 1 after winning their latest game, and Denver Nuggets at number 2. So, I've said all that to say, no one's been talking about the Oklahoma City Thunder.
Oops.
Who have, I was about to give you some really good stats, but I dropped my phone. But nobody's been talking about the Oklahoma City Thunder, who have been quietly just staying very steady and winning games and sitting at about 17 and 9, right above the LA Clippers, who have all of a sudden started losing a few games. Mm-hmm. But the Oklahoma City Thunder, in their last 10 games, they're 7-3. You know what I'm saying? Their defense is looking amazing. If you want to talk about defense in this NBA, in today's NBA, they're second, third in offensive win shares or whatever. Was it? You know what I'm saying? They're third in points allowed in the conference, the Thunder. So we would say that makes them like the third best defense or whatever. I'm sure there's some kind of defensive win shares or some other fucking super matrix numbers that make you fucking say something else. But the Thunder, man, they look great. Paul George out here balling out of sight secretly.
Really good at hitting 3-pointers, even deep 3-pointers. And I think Russell Westbrook was out for a while, and Paul George really stepped up and kind of led that team. Shout out to Russell Westbrook for playing his ass off this year and last year and the year before, making Oklahoma a place to come and play. I really think Russell Westbrook can be the best player on a championship team.
I think he can too, and I think he's doing it by letting his sidekick be the best player on his championship team. Paul George has got about, in this last game against the Pelicans, which they lost, but in this last game against the Pelicans, Paul George had 25 points. Steven Adams had 20. And what's his name?
Schroeder.
Oh, yeah. Russell Westbrook had motherfucking 20 points too, baby. Like these guys are fucking sharing the ball. They're allowing each other to get their shots. Mm-hmm. And I think it's showing some serious camaraderie where, like you said, making Oklahoma City a destination to want to go play. So with that being said, I'm gonna ask you a question that nobody's bringing up, but I've heard a couple of beat writers bring it up. KD goes back to Oklahoma City.
Hell no. Now I can't put it past him because I almost said hell no to the Warriors. but if he says like, oh well, they won a championship, I won a championship, I'll go there. But I think that I don't think he's even spoken to Russell Westbrook since before he left. That totally burned.
They definitely talked in the All-Star game. You know what I'm saying? They definitely was cool. They definitely are not friendly. But that doesn't really speak too much about KD because he's really supposedly friendly with LeBron James, but we see how that's working out for him. I'm going to go with it's possible. And the only way it's possible is Paul George. Because Paul George is such a cool dude.
He can play stabilizer.
He can play that dude who'd be like, yo, it's all good. He can bring that back together. He could if it was to happen.
Well, that team definitely makes the finals because they were at the finals with James Harden and Russell Westbrook and KD.
I completely
before
agree.
They were all their superstar selves. So, God, I would really just despise Kevin Durant if he did that shit.
And that's why I think that it's a possibility because everybody would hate him if he did it. And he could justify doing it because he's, like, oh, I'm going to go back here and win a championship because now I know how to win championships.
Yeah, he could do what LeBron James did.
Yeah. But because it would be called pulling LeBron, I don't think he would do it. So we're torn here. I don't know. But I think that it's a great grenade to have in a conversation through the rest of this offseason. Do not be surprised if you're hearing it.
I really wouldn't.
In the summertime. Warriors, Raptors, they're getting it in right now as we speak. Who do you like to finish off? But who do you like? Do you think which one of these teams is most likely to be in the finals this season?
Most likely to be in the finals is definitely the Warriors.
Warriors? Most likely.
100%.
100%. 100 motherfucking %. You heard it here first.
These are the three greatest shooters of all time, and they got Draymond Green and DeMarcus Cousins, Andre Iguodala. There's no beating this team in the West.
Cousins.
I highly doubt the number 2 seed, the Denver Nuggets, could take out the Warriors.
I agree. Unless
I'd love to be wrong.
Unless the Thunder
Russell Westbrook comes in and destroys, I would.
If the Thunder get Kevin Love.
Yeah, there you go.
You heard that here first, people.
No, and it really would. That stretches the floor. Their weak spot is Roberson, but I mean, if he can hold KD down to 85% of what he usually makes, I could see a possibility.
Oh, even if you could let KD get everything he wants, and if Roberson's on the floor, and then you have Kevin Love stretching Draymond out.
Mm-hmm. And then Steven Adams.
Yeah.
At the elbow, I guess.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like they're shooting outside, so I'm going to let you guys go. Shout out to the Fairfax High School football team. I met one of their coaches this weekend.
It's a big team.
Yeah, I met one of their coaches at the football store. That's what I was about to say. But no, at the parlor on Melrose. Got food poisoning there. Don't ever fucking eat food there. That's for sure. The parlor on Melrose. Shout out to them. Because they fucking got me sick as fuck. And I thought it was just the Cowboys game, but it was actually It was actually the nachos. Any shout outs?
Shout out to one of our biggest fans, my sister, Sarah Haley.
Boom!
We appreciate you listening.
Shout out to your haircut, too.
You gave this to me
Yeah,
yesterday.
yeah. Shout out to your haircut, man. That's dope. So yeah, that's it, and that's all. You guys should go and subscribe, and you should like everything that we do on Instagram, on Twitter. It's Bill, James, and Tig, baby. Shout out to Eric for calling in, and shout out to Jordan. I meant to call you today.
We'll get you on.
We're gonna get you on next week.
Talk about
We got Jordan on the show.
after Baker Mayfield gets his 6th win.
6th win. And we'll talk about Cleveland sports. And maybe we'll have another guest and we'll talk about other sports. It's all happening right here on the #1 podcast in all of sports. You funky bitch.
It just clicked in my mind that if you just run through somebody's face, a lot of people ain't gonna be able to take that over and 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 over again. They just not gonna want that.
Think there's a deeper metaphor there?
Run through a motherfucker face. Then you don't have to worry about them no more.